Gérard Depardieu is a famous French actor. Depardieu became widely known for his roles in the films Tartuffe, Asterix and Obelix, Inspector Razinya, Unlucky, and many others. Childhood and youth. Legend of French cinema. Gérard Depardieu was born in the winter of 48th year in a town called Châteauroux in France. His father worked as a tinsmith and almost no literacy. The family was poor. The childhood of the actor fell on the post-war years, when the whole of France began to recover. The family survived only at the expense of social benefits. In addition to Gerard, the family brought up two more children. The future actor has an older brother and sister. After Gerard's birth, the family's financial problems worsened. The artist's father began to abuse alcohol, which took the last money. Soon Gerard had two more brothers and a sister. The boy's childhood was difficult to call happy. Constant problems made his parents indifferent and harsh. Parents almost did not spend time with their children, preferring to do their own things. Due to the lack of attention, Gerard even suffered from a stutter. Further, he preferred to communicate by means of gestures or simply shut up. Despite the numerous problems, Depardieu Jr. was not bad at school. However, with the onset of adolescence, he began to skip school lessons. In 1951, in the hometown of the future actor, an American air base was placed. For local residents, this construction was of great importance. The American base became a kind of stronghold of world culture. Here provincial residents could enjoy foreign music, watch the best films of world cinema. For the first time Gerard touched the world of cinema at the airbase. What he saw struck him and largely predetermined his future professional biography. With the onset of puberty, the young man's behavior and his performance became even worse. Gerard became a difficult teenager and even stayed in class for another year. Only in '62, the guy received a certificate of incomplete secondary education and forever said goodbye to school. Poor childhood and hard youth were reflected in the appearance of the young man. He looked much more mature than his peers. After graduating from school, the guy went to work in a local printing house. On this, the misadventures of the future artist did not end. He got into a bad company of teenagers who were in the business of stealing fuel from the airbase. There were in the repertoire, gang and other transgressions. One day the police knocked on the house of the family Depardieu. They came with a search, but found nothing. Then representatives of law enforcement advised the parents to give the middle son to the colony for difficult teenagers. The father refused to send Gerard to the colony. Some time later, the young man himself went to prison. He was sentenced to a 3-week arrest, and then released. Gerard was only 16 years old at the time. Perhaps the young man from a dysfunctional family would have remained in a provincial town, if not for a fateful accident. A friend called Gerard to visit Paris. A friend Depardieu was trained in acting courses and dreamed of becoming a professional artist. Gerard simply ran away from home. Such a trick he turned regularly. The young man quickly arrived in the French capital and found himself at a friend's house. The friend took Gerard with him, and together they went to acting classes. One of the teachers immediately noticed the dewy sullen blonde. Eccentric teacher offered a guy to show pantomime. Depardieu, who by that time has become accustomed to express himself with gestures, easily coped with the task. What he saw made a favorable impression on the teacher, and he offered the young man to start training. Thus, Gerard became a student of the famous mentor Jean-Laurent Cochet. Films, teachers of acting courses immediately saw in the young Depardieu huge creative potential. But the young man had problems with speech. He suffered from stuttering since childhood. Famous teacher Jean-Laurent Cochet himself paid for the services of a speech therapist who helped Gerard get rid of stuttering. Correct the wrong pronunciation of the young man had to independently. Training at acting courses opened him new aspects of cultural life. He began to go to museums, exhibitions, read classical literature. Depardieu tried to make up for lost time in his childhood years, so as hard as he could learn new things. More malleable and diligent student at Mr. Cochet has never been. Depardieu gave all his strength to become a great actor. Soon his zeal was justified, and he received his first role in the movie. Depardieu's professional biography as an actor took place in the mid-60s. His debut work in cinematography was a bright role in a short film called The Beatnik and the Young Lady. Gerard played a beatnik. In the future, he was offered the role of a representative of the hippie movement in the picture called Nausicaa. Fate again smiled on the novice artist. He suddenly became incredibly popular with French directors. With the beginning of the 60s in French cinematography began a new milestone. The film industry turned away for a while from the bored handsome and on the screen more often glimpsed brutal guys. In the 70s fell prime filmography Depardieu. He became the star of several cult films, among which were tapes called Natalie Granger, Scumin, Bringing Trouble, as well as A Little Sunshine in Cold Water. A number of successful films predetermined the further development of Gerard's career. He received world fame after performing the role of Jean-Claude in a provocative picture called Waltzing. The film by Bertrand Blier started in the box office in 73rd year. The tape tells the story of charming Progatelny life, which for the sake of thrills get involved in criminal adventures. This time Gerard played himself in his early youth, so the role he coped just fine. The film became incredibly popular and caused a great resonance in public opinion. Someone adored the picture, and someone criticized it. Depardieu did not want to remain hostage to one role. He dreamed of playing diversified roles. Soon he had such a chance, when he was invited to the shooting of the movie, The Last Woman. In the picture also took part in the famous actress named Ornella Muti. The next famous project of the actor becomes a tape called Prepare Handkerchiefs. In 76, Gerard begins to work closely with the famous director Bernardo Bertolucci, which starred Donald Sutherland, Robert De Niro and other famous actors. After a while, the talent of the Frenchman was recognized at the state level. He became the winner of the award César for melodrama called The Last Underground. Screen partner Depardieu in this tape was herself Catherine Deneuve. After the first César talent, Gerard was marked by a number of other prestigious awards. With the advent of the 80s, Depardieu more and more often begins to star in comedies, having established himself as a great comedy actor. He is covered by a new wave of love of the audience. The best comedies in the filmography of the artist are considered the paintings Tartuffe, as well as Inspector Razinya. A real gem of creativity. Depardieu was a great movie, Unlucky, where he played in a duet with Pierre Richard. Also in the picture took part in another famous Frenchman, Jean Reno. The next famous films with the actor were tapes Runaways and Daddy. In the 80s, the artist was already a recognized star of world cinema. Depardieu has established himself as a versatile actor. He plays great in both dramas and comedies. Viewers like the game of the French actor, and in action movies. With the advent of the 90s, career of the artist did not slow down at all. It was at this time that he starred in his favorite role in the film Cyrano de Bergerac. The actor said that this is his favorite film and he incredibly enjoyed being in the image of Mr. de Bergerac. And again, a talented Frenchman proved that he is able to play anyone and anything. For this role, the actor was awarded a special award at the Cannes Film Festival. The film was a great premiere in world cinema and was awarded the Oscar, Palme d'Or, and other prizes. The release of the tape Cyrano de Bergerac opened before the artist incredible opportunities. He began to be invited to Hollywood projects. Soon he starred in a duet with Andie MacDowell in the film called Residence Permit. For this picture, the French artist was awarded the Golden Globe Award. The next successful project in Depardieu's filmography was a comedy called Between an Angel and a Demon. Here he played together with his old friend and colleague Christian Clavier. The humorous duo of French actors was wonderfully received by the audience. After a while, viewers saw their favorite actor in a romantic role, when he starred in the main role in the film The Count of Monte Cristo. A real masterpiece of world cinema was recognized as a comedy, Asterix and Obelix vs. Caesar. Depardieu appeared in the image of charming fat Obelix. Best friend Christian Clavier played his fellow Gaul Asterix. The movie collected excellent box office and was warmly received by viewers and critics. In 97th year, Depardieu's merits were recognized by the world film community. He received the main prize of the festival in Venice, Golden Lion. Year later in the Piggy Bank of the artist appeared comedy called Pretty Girls. The plot of the movie tells about a girl who is bored with the grayness and routine of habitual life. She decides to radically change the boring reality and goes to meet entertainment. With the beginning of the new century, Depardieu continued to shoot. Soon he appeared in a drama called Natalie, in which he worked on the same set with Fanny Ardant. The next project of the actor was the movie How Much Are You Worth, where the screen partner of Depardieu was Monica Bellucci. One of the most interesting films in all the work of Depardieu was the tape Rasputin. The plot of the picture tells the details of the life of the mysterious healer of the Romanov family. Other famous projects with the participation of Depardieu, Stalin's Couch, as well as Valley of Love. In recent years, the actor is actively filmed in Russia. Not so long ago he got into such Russian pictures as Zaitsev 1, as well as Mata Hari. Depardieu is still in love with the acting profession, so he shoots in mature years as often as in his youth. Every year the actor gives his fans at least 4 projects with his participation. In addition to playing in films, the artist is engaged in the voicing of films. He presented to the audience such tapes as Save the Sun, a thriller called Carbon, as well as the picture The Good Apple. In 2018, in the filmography of the Frenchman appeared melodrama called My Wife's Lover. In addition, Depardieu is engaged in several other French tapes. Among the recent pictures of the Maestro biographical picture, Bach, here Depardieu reincarnated in The Genius Composer, a drama called Anatolian Story. The actor also starred in the Russian comedy film, Sport Without Borders. Personal life, Depardieu always heard the connoisseur of the fair sex. Unfolded figure, irregular facial features never prevented the actor to win the hearts of the most beautiful women of his time. He never suffered from a lack of female attention, neither in his younger years, nor in more mature age. Over time, once athletic and fit Depardieu strongly fattened. At a height of 180 centimeters his weight was about 122 kilograms. However, and fullness has not become a hindrance in relations with the opposite sex. A clear sympathy for Depardieu experienced such beauties of world cinema, such as Monica Bellucci, Isabelle Adjani, Catherine Deneuve and Andie MacDowell. Together with these actresses Depardieu starred in the same movies. However, the sympathy of beautiful actresses for a long time left Gerard indifferent. For many years he remained faithful to his wife. The acquaintance of the artist with his future wife took place at the acting courses of Mr. Cochet. The young man immediately spotted a charming Elizabeth Gignot. Unlike his admirer, Elizabeth was a real aristocrat and belonged to one of the wealthiest families in Paris. The girl was not embarrassed by the apparent ugliness of the chosen one and his poverty. 2 years after meeting, in the spring of 1970, the couple married legally. Depardieu's marriage was considered one of the longest in French cinema. He was married for 26 years until the couple announced their separation in 1992. The divorce was formalized 4 years later. The reason for the breakup was the actor's affair with a dark-skinned mannequin named Karen Silla. After a while, the model gave birth to her lover's daughter, who was named Roxanne. A year later, about Depardieu's personal life began to write all the world's newspapers and magazines. He began to meet with an actress named Carole Bouquet, who for a long time remained the official face of the brand Chanel. According to the actor, his new chosen one had a huge disadvantage. Carole was always possessive and characterized by jealousy. In 2005, the artists announced the parting. Depardieu has several children, 2 children born in marriage, a daughter Roxanne and a son named Jean. The son and daughter, born in marriage to his official wife, followed in the footsteps of their famous father. They became actors. In the family of Guillaume Depardieu, who died not so long ago from complications after pneumonia, a daughter named Louise is growing up. Julie Depardieu has a son who was born in 2011. In 2020, the actor accepted Orthodoxy. The baptism took place in the Cathedral of Alexander Nevsky, which is located in the capital of France. This was reported by the local Batyushka, who said that the sacrament gathered close friends of the artist, in the future Depardieu admitted that he chose a new religion far from accidentally. He chose orthodoxy after talking to representatives of the clergy. He also noted that he really likes the liturgy. Interestingly, the artist's confessor was Metropolitan Tikhon of Porkov and Pskov, who is also the spiritual advisor of Vladimir Putin himself. It is interesting that earlier the artist was a Muslim. He decided to embrace Islam back in the distant 1960s. Later he showed great interest in other religions, such as Hinduism and Buddhism. Russian citizenship. Depardieu's biography has always been closely connected with Russia. It is not surprising that not so long ago the actor received Russian citizenship. In 2012, the actor bought an apartment in Belgium, because of which the public began to vigorously discuss the activities of the artist. Journalists saw in this fact an attempt by Depardieu to evade taxes. The then Prime Minister of France commented on the actions of the actor and called the attempt just pathetic. Gerard, terribly indignant, and soon wrote the Prime Minister an angry letter. In the message, he attached his social kartochka and French passport. Already in the winter of this year, the actor finally moved to Belgium. After a while, he officially renounced the citizenship of France. He told reporters that henceforth he considers himself a citizen of the world. A year later, the head of Russia granted the French actor Russian citizenship. According to Vladimir Putin, if Mr. Depardieu wishes to have Russian citizenship, he will have it. After signing the necessary decree, the artist received a Russian passport. After officially obtaining citizenship, Depardieu decided to finally move to Russia. The Russian authorities provided the French star with housing in Saransk, where Depardieu decided to settle down. The Frenchman was offered several options. He could settle in his own mansion, or get an apartment in a multi-story building. In the future Depardieu engaged in pleasant troubles in the new place. He immediately entered the account in the tax service. A month later, the artist was awarded the title of Honorary Citizen of the Republic of Chechnya. Ramzan Kadyrov personally presented the artist with a magnificent gift, a 5-room apartment in the heart of Chechnya. Russian citizenship did not become an obstacle for the artist when he decided to return to Belgium. In 2018, it became known about the desire of the artist to move from Europe to Algeria. In the same year, it was reported that the actor changed his residence registration in Saransk to a residence registration in Novosibirsk. The actor is in love with Siberia. Here he is going to do business. Depardieu decided to open his food business. But he does not forget about creativity. He plans to shoot a documentary, which he was ordered by the management of Channel 1, in social networks for a long time. Pictures of Depardieu in the Russian entourage. He was filmed walking in Novosibirsk. Residents of the city are enthusiastic about the unexpected neighborhood with the great actor. Currently, the cinematic career of the famous Frenchman continues. In 2019, he starred in a film called Thalassotherapy, where he appeared in the role of himself. The plot of the movie tells about the meeting of the famous writer Michel Houellebecq and Depardieu. The meeting of famous artists took place in the Thalassotherapy Center, where the new friends took a course of recovery with sea water. However, the couple is not able to adhere to the strict postulates of the center. Another famous picture in the extensive cinematography of Depardieu was a tape called Chessman. This project was created by representatives of France and India. Here the actor got the role of the famous French Grandmaster Sylvain. Interestingly, the project was filmed on the basis of the biographical novel, The Secret King. The plot of the book in turn is based on real events. The year 2020 gave the Frenchman a lot of new opportunities. He attended a show called New Year's Eve on the 1st. Together with the Russian singer Zara Depardieu sang the composition Paroles, Paroles. Listeners noted that the number was filled with a special romance of France. Then the artist visited the New Year's edition of the project Evening Urgent. In an interview Depardieu admitted that he never liked this holiday. However, Christmas he also does not particularly like. Currently, the artist is busy working in a new film called Anatolian Story. The movie is based on the famous novel by Mark Arena. Ardak Igishin himself sat in the director's chair. Before us is a dramatic picture based on the conflict between Armenia and Turkey. Depardieu got the role of Lawyer Blumenthal. Well, friends, let's wish this talented actor creative success and good luck.
Friends, I will be very pleased if you subscribe to my channel. I will do my best to make it interesting for you to watch my videos. You can let me know what you would like to watch from the world of show business. I will be grateful for your attention.